So today is day 13 of Vlogmas, and I thought, I didn't get a lot of footage yesterday on Tuesday. We had kind of a crazy day, and this week is just gonna be kind of needing to be a bit flexible with me with Vlogmas because it's the last day before the kids are out of winter break, and that means that I am at the school a lot, and yeah. So it's just a lot, and then balancing my full-time job as well, flexing those hours, kind of trying to balance it all is a lot. So I thought I would add in a little Q&A or a little get to know me. Here we go. I thought I would answer some questions and let you guys know a little bit more about me since we have a couple more subscribers. And if you're just finding this video from Vlogmas, welcome. I am Steffie. I started this channel in 2011 or 2012. And it's so funny when I think back on that version, that chapter of my life and how different it is now. Like if I could go back and sit with Steffie, I could almost get emotional thinking about it, but like if I could sit down with her and just show her where we're at now, she would be so proud and so happy. So yeah, I started this channel as a TTC channel. I was part of this wonderful community on like a baby kind of forum, and I found this wonderful community of women that were having a hard time trying to conceive their babies. And yeah, I started the channel, and I always filmed on my old iPad, and it was so bad. Like the videos are so cringy, but it's life. It's called evolution, And it's funny when I look back at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was such a baby. Like I was just a little baby. And I think I was like 25 or 24. And I was just trying so hard to get pregnant, and I was going through the whole process of finding out that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome and taking Clomid, and then to getting pregnant with NASH. I'm so glad I have that footage because it's like, it really does. I forget things, and then I'm able to just kind of get myself right back into being in that moment by just watching those videos. So from there, Steffie This Chapter was born. So easy for me to name it because I was like, it's me, and then it's the different chapters of my life. And I figured this was kind of gonna be my blog, and I used to call them vlogs because I don't think that people called them vlogs even back then. And it's just so funny when I look back on it, and it's just wild. So then I started just taking some snippets of Nash as he grew, and then I started doing like mommy videos, lifestyle videos, things like that. Kind of just bringing in, like, I was so comforted as a new mom by videos of women doing what I was doing. I didn't feel alone. I was kind of the first in my group to have a baby. And so it really helped me to understand what was going on with me and, really made me feel not alone. So that's how it began. And then it's kind of evolved, and it's honestly just a hobby project for me. My channel isn't even monetized right now. So this is literally a passion project. I do it when I have the space for it, and when I don't have the space for it, I have to let it go, but I always like to come back because I miss it. Like it's a creative outlet for me. And it's nothing where I'm like, oh, I wanna, I don't know. It never has been for me something where I was like, this is gonna be lucrative. I always just have looked at it as a space where I could just be myself and share what my life looked like. I love being able to look back on years past throughout my entire motherhood journey. I can plop into a video and see where I was at and what was going on, and I don't know, there's something really special about that. And also to like hear my kids' voices and stuff. I've definitely changed how I vlog, and I've changed how I create content, because the internet has changed and YouTube has changed. And when I started out, there weren't like crazy parameters. There weren't a lot of people doing it. Honestly, everyone thought I was crazy for doing it. And I didn't care because I was like, I really love doing this and it's fun. And then it became this huge thing. People were daily vlogging. I remember going to Playlist Live when Nash was like 18 months old, and I met some of my best friends on YouTube, Shaylee and Joey and Josh Bug. And you know, I met these wonderful people that just kind of were like me, like they wanted the creative outlet. They really found comfort in their community. And it was a different time. YouTube was so much more, I don't know, guys. There wasn't big production. There wasn't all these things. And there were family vloggers that were like, they weren't that vibe, but you know, we just steer clear. And they went off to be really successful and great and it became lucrative for them. So I kind of just started vlogging with intention. Like if I had the intention to vlog something, I pulled out my camera and I vlogged it. The second that it became something where I like felt like I had to do it or I felt like stressed about doing it, I just stopped doing it. Now what I share of my kids, I feel so comfortable with what I share, and I don't overshare, and I feel like I'm so much more mature. And had I been sharing back then, I don't know if I would have been comfortable with what I was sharing to a huge audience of people. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's what's in my brain. All right, the next question was, why do I vlog and why am I doing Vlogmas? And the answer to that question is that basically what I just said. You know, I really love looking back on these vlogs. I love looking back on Vlogmas. And December specifically is my favorite month of the year. And I feel like it's such a good depiction of where my children are in that year and like the fun things that we're doing, those traditional things that we do every year. And it's just, I don't know. I love the fact that I have this footage each year and that I can look back at where my kids were doing the same things each year. And you know, it also is just something that it's a goal that I love to set for myself, and it gives me some sort of feeling in my body that makes me feel really good and accomplished that I'm doing something for myself. You know, I look at YouTube and video content creation as an outlet for me, and it's a hobby. And I'm just in the place right now in motherhood where I really am able to give myself a little bit of this time. And of course, like, you never have time to do things, but you have to make the time. And it's like I'm just allotting this portion of the year to vlog and put it up there. Do I think that it ever is gonna turn into something big for me? No, like I literally am just doing this because my children love Vlogmas and I love Vlogmas. I've been doing this since 2012, and there are times where I just have been really burnt out. There's times where there have been like physical ailments that keep me from doing it, or you know, just personal things that happen that I'm not in a space to share, you know, and I luckily can choose that, you know, I'm not all in on this, you know, so it's definitely important to me to keep this as something that is a hobby and can be fun, but never takes away from my real life, you know, my real life duties and all the things that I need to accomplish in order to keep it all ticking, you know what I mean? I did have a question from a video a while back, and it was basically what had happened because I had alluded to having some health issues. And you know, one day maybe I'll make a whole video about what I went through, but there was a period of time where I just couldn't vlog because I wasn't okay. You know, there was a period of time where I was going through some health issues that kind of debilitated me, to be completely honest. And it was just a period of time where I didn't have space to really do much other than being a mom and a wife and work. You know, I had to keep it very close-knit. And, you know, basically, I'm not going to go into the long story of it, but it was a couple years ago, and I started to have some heart issues, and I was having really bad headaches, and I had to go through a lot of testing and a lot of monitoring, and we found out that I had tachycardia, and I have complex migraine syndrome. So basically I was having stroke-like symptoms with my migraines and tachycardia that was triggered by stress or hormones. And I still have those things, but I'm just able to monitor it way better now. I'm more well-versed in it. I have tried all sorts of things, and I'm actually able to monitor and make sure that it stays in line and that I'm being the healthiest version of myself. And so yeah, there was a period of time where I just couldn't give anything to this channel. You know, I was in a very dark place mentally because I was scared and I felt really uncomfortable. You know, I was a mess. But since then, you know, I've really figured out what I need to do in order to be the healthiest version of myself. And maybe one day I'll share the whole story of that. And if you're interested in that story, let me know. But, you know, I'm able to talk about it now and not get emotional, but it's taken time. You know, it was traumatic, it was really stressful, and it was a really hard time in my life. And so it's taken me time to get to this point. And I'm really proud of myself, and I'm proud of where I'm at, where my body is at, where I physically feel. You know, I haven't had a complex migraine in a year. That's a huge feat. I'm able to now reintroduce things that I thought were triggers, and they're not, you know, and my sinus tachycardia is well managed. I'm able to monitor and manage it very well, and nothing is life-threatening, you know, which is the biggest thing. When your body feels like it is not going to make it through these things, it's really important to know that you will make it through those things. Like even in the worst day and the worst flare up, you're going to be okay with it. And so, yeah, that has played a huge part in showing up here on this channel. So I'd be remiss to not mention that. And like I said, because it's always been a hobby channel, I'm able to make that choice. And I'm thankful for that. There have been times where I'm frustrated that I put so much into it and it's not lucrative. But the person I am now, I can foresee why. You know, there was definitely protection over me and where I was as a young mom, as a mom of multiple kids, you know, all the things. So if you are a long-standing subscriber, like, you have no idea how much it means to me. I just, you know, it's hard to put yourself out there. And I try really hard to be really authentic. I think that I'm gonna kind of wrap up just by saying this, is that this day and age, I just feel like there's so many channels, there's so much content out there that's showing perfection, and in a very toxic way, where these people are kind of like, don't worry, I don't have it all together, but then they have it all together. And it's not right. Like it's not a good depiction. I think it's interesting when you have that, and it's always confused me a lot. So I really try to show up as an authentic person. I would hope that if you sat with me today in my living room, I would be this person and you'd be like, oh, they're the same person. I have definitely met YouTube vloggers that are not the same person as they are on screen. I mean, I'll never name them, but yeah, it is a thing. And that would be my nightmare. Like literally, if someone said to me, you're not at all what you're like on the, you know, the video, I'd be like, what? You know, I would hope I'm better. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that sometimes my channel is maybe a bit too real. Like, it's like, you know, it's not as produced, it's not as perfect, it's not as aesthetically pleasing as some of these other channels that just seem to have it all together. I think that I have to be real when I say there are things that fall by the wayside if I'm doing something really good in the moment. If I have the house all cleaned, tip top, then I guarantee you that something else is falling by the wayside. I haven't cooked dinner that day. You know what I mean? Like in my life, it's very much, it's either or. I mean, very rarely can I have it all. And it's important to note that because we can be so critical of ourselves, especially during the holidays. And you look at people and you see what they have and you see like what they're doing and how they're able to show up. And you have to just remind yourself that you are giving what you can, and you need to prioritize what's important to you. And it's just so easy this day and age when you have so much social media and you have so much content just thrown at you. And it feels just so curated and unrealistic in my eyes. So all of this to say, just be careful what you're consuming. Make sure that the things that you're watching are life-giving, that they're not life-sucking. You know, it's not making you feel like a crappy mom or a crappy homemaker or a crappy wife. That's just my little forewarning for y'all out there, especially young moms that are watching and are like, oh my gosh, how are you doing it all? No one's doing it all. It's all a balance, and half the time the balls are all falling. You know what I mean? So be kind with yourself. You're doing a great job, and keep doing what you're doing, especially during the holidays. What you can give is good enough. You know, don't fall into that trap. I have found myself in that trap so many times, and I have to pull myself back out of it. And it's so important to just show up as you, do what you can do, and that is enough. So I hope that this was interesting in some way. Maybe it cleared up some of you guys. If you're new to this channel and you're kind of like, who is this person? I'm gonna leave you guys with some footage from yesterday, which is like literally 4 minutes, but you know, you gotta share some of it. And it's cute little moments like me and Polly working on her letters and her letter sounds. She just has a couple more that we're working on, and then she'll be all done. We made breakfast for dinner. Nash had a big performance. I obviously didn't film that for the vlog because there's multiple other children on there, but so cute. It was adorable. He did a great job. And I got a little bit of stocking stuffer shopping done, and I got all Sean's Christmas presents done. So it was a productive day, but I didn't share all of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time. Bye, y'all. Okay, so I'm actually heading out right now to go and run some errands. It is Tuesday, December 12th, and I've gotten a lot of my work done. I only have maybe an hour and a half left of my work day. I literally put my nose down when the kids went to school and just like worked, which when I do that, I can get so much more done when they're gone. Today is kind of a crazy day because we have, the kids are at school, and then we have a performance tonight for Nash. He has like his winter performance at school. So we have that. Sean is not, he has like a neck thing happening today. So I don't know if he's gonna make it to that. He stayed home from work and he's just working remotely. And I don't know, I'm like, oh, I hope that gets better. But anyways, right now I'm running out to do errands because the next 2 days I will be at the school on Wednesday and Thursday for classroom things. Tomorrow I'll be there in the morning and then again in the afternoon. And then on Thursday, I'll just be there all day. So Friday, they have an early release day. That's the last day until winter break. So I'm gonna try to get my errands that I cannot get done with my children or Sean done today, because we're gonna be all together for the next 2.5 weeks, and there won't really be time for me to pop out and do those things. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now, and we'll see you in a bit. We're gonna place the cards like this, and you're gonna flip over one card, and then you have to say what letter it is.
And I'll get candy.
And then the sound, and you'll get an Oreo when we're all done.
V.
V. Very good. Is this an uppercase or lowercase v?
Uppercase.
Very good. All right, do the next one.